Now, I've been using the internet for 3 decades, and I gotta say, I've never seen a hysteria such as this. A hysteria that's completely astroturfed and fake and gay. So, the reason I'm saying this is that I remember when I first started using the online space, there was pornography everywhere, and there were absolutely no regulations of it. Like, pretty much everything went. And then the internet started regulating. Google, the search engine, decided to add a filter so that when you search for Overwatch character, you don't get to see Mercy's tits coming out. You get Twitter having various policies where you can't put pornography in the thumbnail. And Pornhub gets regulated. Most of the pornography starts going on specific websites. It's getting regulated. Parental controls are being offered for people. And so things were genuinely improving. But at the start of 2020, and actually 2021 if I think about it, AI becomes a thing and facial recognition software become a lot more advanced. And all of a sudden we have like this mass hysteria happening in the West that we need to protect little Billy, who is 16 years old, from seeing titties online because it's extremely damaging. Like, it's an absolute miracle that the millennial generation even survived the online space. You know, if you go outside and you have like gangs and street prostitution and strip clubs, that is understandable. But seeing anime titties online is something that almost destroyed our society, and so drastic measures have to be taken. And of course, in order to protect 17-year-olds from seeing titties on the internet, every single adult for the rest of their lives will have to dox themselves whenever they go to a porn site. And so this is how it was advertised, right? It's kind of like going to a pub. Because when you go to a pub, you show your ID. And that is literally the same thing like showing your ID when you go on the internet, right? The problem is that while it started with porn sites, it quickly moved to social media. It quickly moved to search engines. And now apparently there's a law that they want to pass in the United States where if you install Windows on a computer, it has to be connected to the online, and you have to actually show an ID before installing Windows. Okay, like this is when it started, where it's going. So, besides pornography, they also decided to include other things like sensitive content. So, for example, the Irina assassination video, or there was an Orthodox priest in Australia that got stabbed in the eye. The e-safety commissioner of Australia wanted to include those in the type of videos that young people shouldn't watch. You have situations like in the UK where 16-year-olds are allowed to vote, but they can't actually watch the news on Twitter because they don't have an ID. So you end up with this absolute madness, this absolute shit show. But the important question that no one is asking is who is profiting from this? Like, who are these robust age verification corporations? And this is the only question that matters. Like, who funded them? Who's profiting from them? How much money are they taking, right? Because it's not like going to a bar and showing ID. When you go to a bar, there is a person there. He sees your ID. He doesn't scan it. He doesn't photograph it. And when you sit at the table, no one is actually there spying on you. You don't have like a microphone under the table in order to listen to your conversation and have you arrested if you do the speech of hate, right? Online is different. Online, you show your ID. It remains in a database, like someone has your private information now that they can potentially use for nefarious activities. And then they can trace and record everything you do on the website. Now, of course, people say, well, the government can record everything you do anyway. And the answer, well, yeah, but like they used to need a court order. It actually requires money and resources to trace a person. Whether if they have a digital ID, it's just a click of a button. And it's more important that they can block that person from every single social media website. Like if you need digital ID to go to Twitter, to go to YouTube, to go to Google, they can just flag your ID and all of a sudden it's not allowed on any of the websites, right? So you can't even make sock puppet accounts. So like that's one of the things that's happening, and it's bewildering that nobody wants to know, like, who are these companies and how are they making money? Like, how is it that literally when the legislation passed, right, like for decades, nobody cared about robust age verification, but like the moment they cared, those companies were already there. You know, companies like Persona, companies like Plantier. Like, how did they just happen to be there? You know? And how much money are they making? Because I'm pretty sure, like, they're making billions, offering a service that nobody would have wanted if these laws didn't exist. And so, one of the concerns that many people had was what happens when people's data gets stolen. Because these companies claim, oh, well, they just want to verify that you're an adult. They delete your data, pinky promise. But apparently, no. Apparently, they keep the data. And as it turns out, a lot of people had their information stolen. Now, here's the difference between having a password stolen and having your social security number stolen. I don't know how it's like in America, right? But here in Romania, if someone steals my password, it's pretty bad. But at least I have the opportunity to change my password. If someone steals my credit card, well, it's pretty bad. But at least I have the opportunity to block the number of cash that someone can withdraw from the credit card. And then I can contact my bank and get a new credit card. If someone steals your social security number, there is no recourse in Romania. Like in my country, I don't think it's actually possible to get a new social security number equivalent. And if people have your data, like they have your name, they have your address, they have your SN, like if they genuinely have your ID, they can actually phone the bank. They can do online banking transactions in your name. Like, this is fucking insane. And again, like, you can't get rid of that. You can't change it. Okay? And so I'm looking at how many people were affected by this shit. Apparently, like 4 million Romanians were affected by this data breach. That's almost half the nation. Like, there's around 20 million Romanians allegedly since the last census. There's probably less. But, like, it's a staggering number, right? And it's not in the news. People don't freak out about it. That, like, no one wants to have a conversation about this. And my question is, like, why? Why don't people think that this is important? Like, in a world where digital ID exists, you cannot have that mindset that digital ID is important, but at the same time, like, literally, anyone can have your digital ID from the dark web. Like, this to me is madness, and this is why I genuinely believe that this is not a natural, honest conversation taking place. Because, like, if people, like, genuinely believe, like, yes, you know, we need to live in a society where the government manages to surveil all of us because it's for our benefit, then the very idea that someone's ID was stolen should be abhorrent. Like, should disgust these people to the core. But the very fact that it doesn't happen, and the very fact that, you know, you have, like, a huge leak over 1 billion personal records across 26 countries, and it's not in the news. Like, it's not like CNN, breaking news, BBC, breaking news. Like, have, like, some 5 soy boys just sit around the table and discuss about it, you know? Whoopi Goldberg at The View, spurging out over it. They don't give a shit, right? Which, again, just goes to show that most people don't even care about this. Like, they haven't figured it out. They didn't think about it. Little Billy watching titties is not the real reason that this law is getting passed. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.